Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Ben. I'm an online entrepreneur, and here on my YouTube channel I show you all about my reselling business. Today I'm at an estate sale. I just got my number in line. I'm number 7 for this estate sale. Got up here a few hours early in order to get in line because there looked like some great stuff. There was some Masters of the Universe figures, there's some G.I. Joe stuff, old Star Wars stuff, plus some vintage clothing. This one's looking promising. I wanted to get to it and I want to share it with you guys, so hopefully we end up finding some good stuff, and I will see you in about an hour and a half when the sale opens.
In that box. 8. 2 more, Tim, 2 more. Hold on, 2 more. Wait, 1 second.
Hey, is the wolf tag on?
Yes, there's supposed to be a tag hanging on it. Can I get it down? Huh? But there's a tag on it. There had to have been, I made it. Did someone get the wolf pet motor oil sign tag? You got it?
No, I didn't.
No, I got it. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Sir, let me get by you real quick.
Really interesting.
Let me get by you. Oh, it's right here. It fell down.
Voltron and Transformers.
Yeah, a bunch of more.
They're under the stuff, okay.
Smith, any idea?
They're $1 a piece if they're not marked.
Okay,
Good.
cool. Yep. For 5.
You guys give me the Star Wars stuff, or is that inside?
I didn't grab any.
They cleared that whole
Yeah, they
thing off.
cleared it, man. Okay.
Someone must have knocked them off because they were right here.
Might as well.
Who got the Star Wars stuff?
I saw someone put it all in their bag.
Who got the Star Wars stuff? So you dropped a bunch of stuff.
I got some. If that was on that side, maybe someone else, I will go for that.
You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna let you
$5, yeah. That's why I checked inside. It looks like I had a peek in it.
It was right here. I think it was 25.
Excuse me, brother.
Walk out there and grab me those coats, please. They're right here.
I'll come back.
What does it do to carry it up front? Go for it. I'm gonna carry this cut out front for you.
$146. All right, not a bad little haul. I'll go through everything when we get home, but we got some good stuff. I'm really happy with this one. Okay, I'm back home from the estate sales now. I'm going to take you through everything that I ended up picking up. Overall, I am pretty happy with the haul. I ended up spending like 140 bucks or something like that, right around that area, and I got some pretty cool stuff. Especially considering the majority of the people that were in front of me in line were also there for pretty much the same stuff I was. They were there for the vintage toys, you know, the Star Wars, the He-Man, the old wrestling stuff, the G.I. Joe stuff. All of that stuff went right away. Everybody went straight to it. I also ended up talking to and meeting a couple of the people at the estate sales. There were a bunch of collectors in front of me, two in specific. Were really awesome guys. One of them selling tomorrow up at Hickory at a toy and baseball card show, which I might end up going up to, and then another guy who sells online. Both really awesome dudes. And I also met a clothing seller, a vintage clothing seller based here in Charlotte, and she was very nice as well. Overall, this estate sale was a very positive experience for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the pickups. Okay, I'm going to take you guys through everything that I ended up picking up. I'm going to try and go through them pretty fast. There is a lot of stuff to get through, especially a bunch of the little figures and stuff, but I'm going to try and give you some detail and some overview on stuff. Now, keep in mind, I am not a toy expert, and I don't deal in this stuff a ton. I love to find it. It's one of my favorite things to find and sell, but I do not know all of the ins and outs of toys or anything like that. And that's really one of the things that I want to emphasize in this video. You do not have to be an expert on a subject in order to buy these types of things. You just need to be educated enough to know what a decent price is and know what to buy when you see it. But let's go ahead and hop into our first item here. This is the first one I'm going to talk about. This is a battery operated robot, and you can see this one was in the box still. That box is in pretty dang good shape, and the item itself is really, really cool. It's like this robot inside of a car. I've never seen it before, and if we look at the box, we can see that it says battery operated robot, Cosmic Raider Force. Never heard of it before, but it's a really cool toy. If you guys didn't know, vintage robot toys actually have a really large collector's market, and then on top of that, this one has a car attached to it, so it's going to hit that car market as well. I expect this thing to maybe sit around for a little bit, but it will sell eventually, and I think it's a really cool looking piece. It even has all of the little parts and missiles and stuff. I want to put batteries in it to make sure it lights up and everything before I list it, but it's a really, really cool piece, and the box just makes it all that much better. Next, we got this bag full of old Voltron toys. Let me take them out and show them to you. There are also a couple little Transformers, but we'll get to those in just a second. Voltron's one of those toy brands that I don't know a ton about. I never got into Voltron. I don't even think I've ever seen an episode of it, but I have sold the toys in the past before, and I've done pretty well on them. I think these little tigers right here go for like 25 to 30 bucks if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I sold them for around the last time. But we've got the red one here, and it is dated 1984. And then we've also got the yellow one here, and it has all the stickers on it. It's actually in pretty good shape. It does have a little bit of wear from play up top, but overall, these two are in pretty good shape. Then we got a couple of the smaller ones. You can see this little red one right here. It's just a smaller version of the big one that I just showed you. I didn't see a date on it. I assume it's probably around the same period, around 1984. And then we also got the blue one as well. That one, again, I didn't see a date on it. However, it's probably around the same year. I guess I'll hop into the Transformers since there was two in that bag. So this one right here, they actually both kind of look like Insecticons. I've sold Transformers in the past very, very well. This one actually I think is a bootleg. I've never seen him before, and he does feel like a cheaper quality, so I'm gonna have to do more research on him. I did find the date on it. It says 1985 if I open up that battery cavity, if you can see right in there, but I don't recognize the style of this one. I think it is a bootleg Transformer, and some older bootlegs actually have some decent value. And then there's this one right here. He's like the purple and black Insecticon. I actually think I got two of these. Give me one second. Yep, right here in one of the other bags is a second one. This one actually had the name marked on it. They did look up some of these at the estate sale and put the prices on there, so you can see I paid $3 just for him separately, and his name is, what was it? Kickback. Kickback is his name. So I did end up grabbing 2 of those Kickback figures. It's important to note I didn't look up prices on anything while I was at the sale. This was pretty much a blind buy, and I just had to kind of, you know, guess my way through the prices. I'm pretty confident in what I got, so I don't necessarily know what everything's valued at, but I'm pretty sure 140 bucks was a good deal for all of these. I guess we'll just continue with the Transformer stuff. Right here we have a bag full of the Devastator figures. I actually know this guy's name because I put him together for a picture in the past over on eBay, and he was really annoying to put together. It's a bunch of the individual cars that combine to make one of these bigger Zords, and it's actually pretty cool once you get it together. However, it was really annoying, so that's why I know his name. I think there were a few more pieces, little cars missing from the set, but overall, they should still sell well. I know as a whole, I think I sold the Devastator guy for around 100 bucks, so these should still have some decent value by themselves. Here's another one that I've actually sold in the past. This one right here is complete. This is Ramjet, and I've actually sold him before, and I believe I've sold him for around 50 or 60 bucks complete, and this guy is complete. He has accessories in there in the bag and his little pamphlet, so that's a nice little pickup right there, and they actually had him marked up on the bag, if you can see that. They had him marked at $8 for sale, so I made sure to grab that one. He was one of the first ones that I actually grabbed off the table when I seen all the Transformers sitting there. Then we got a few of the different cars. I'm not 100% familiar on if all the pieces are there. I assume a lot of these had little accessories, like you can see this guy had his guns and stuff in there with him, but this is Smokescreen, and he is missing a piece on the back. I can tell you that right now because that's not supposed to be open like that, but overall still in decent shape, and even though he is missing some pieces, he's still going to have some value behind him. Next we have Baron Von Joy, at least that's what it says on the package. This is the little Porsche Transformer, and this one does appear to be complete. It's in pretty good shape. I'm not going to transform them all, obviously, for you guys. Maybe you'll see some B-roll of it transformed, but this is a good looking one, and it looks like it's complete as well. And then our last larger car here is Road Rage, is what it says on the bag, so I assume that's correct. These are also from 1984, by the way, and he is missing also a little piece right here. It looks like he's missing like a back window or something. Still, like I said, in used condition and missing a few pieces. They're still going to have some kind of value. And then the last 2 little Transformers are these 2. Hands Cuff is what it says on the bag. They're the same model, and they definitely show some wear from use, but still in pretty good shape. Again, I'm not sure if they're complete or not. I'm gonna have to do research. Oh, nope, we got one more Transformer. We got Twin Twist here. He is, again, loose figure, but he does have his little card and his gun right there in the baggie, if that focuses. But yeah, he's got his little accessories with him. Again, not sure what he's worth, but still cool to have. Moving on, I got 3 little G.I. Joe figures here. These guys are not that valuable, but some G.I. Joes can have some insane value. These ones I think are all like drivers for the vehicle, so they're not rare, they're pretty common ones. But some of the figures, I've sold individual little loose figures like this for well over 100 bucks, and there were some of these little loose figures like these ones at the estate sale worth over 100 bucks, but there was another collector in front of me who actually called up the lady before the estate sale started, and he knew that she was going to price them all as a lot. He pretty much talked it through with her on the phone before the sale started, and he was like the second one in line at the sale. So he ended up getting pretty much all the G.I. Joe stuff for 500 bucks, which for him was a great deal because he does sell at toy shows and stuff. And after the estate sale was done, we ended up going through like a few of the little better items that he got, and he was showing me and telling me about them. And he got some of these little figures that were worth well over 100 bucks. So awesome score for him. And just know, if you don't know G.I. Joe stuff, keep an eye out for them. They're like the ones from the 80s and early 90s can be worth some very, very good money. These guys were all from, what was it, 1986. So that era of toys for G.I. Joes is the era that you want to look for. So if you ever see these little guys out in the wild, know them, learn them, and keep an eye out for them. They are awesome sellers. Next here in this little bag here, I'm not sure who these 2 are. I just grabbed them because they were cheap, but we got 2 little individual figures. I'm, again, not sure what they're from. I'm gonna have to look them up and do some research on them, but they do say WB 1980 on the back of the figure. So these are early 80s figures. If you know what they are, let me know down in the comments. I have no idea. Okay, let's get into the Star Wars figures over here. Now, when I originally did my run through at the estate sale, I didn't get any of the Star Wars stuff. It was after the estate, or after I was counting up everything, getting my total done. One of the other resellers that I had talked to earlier in the morning came over and he was like, hey, do you want this stuff? We're not gonna grab it. You know, it's just not what we're into. And I was like, sure, I'll take it. So I went through it, picked out the ones that I wanted to get. I didn't get the vehicle that he handed me, but I did grab a bunch of the figures. The vehicle was just priced up at 35 bucks and the figures were individually priced. Most of them were around $5, but I'm gonna take you guys through them and show you what I got. Most of these figures were from the late 70s or early 80s, so like 1977 to like 1982 or something like that is what the range of figures these are from. Also, I don't know some of their names. I am not a Star Wars fan. I haven't even seen the whole series. I know, roast me in the comments. Go for it, tell me how good The Mandalorian is and everything. I just don't have an interest in it, but I have sold the toys before for some very good money, and I know the basics. I just don't know some of the characters that I've never seen before. First, we got two little Ewok guys. These guys are from 1983, both of them in pretty good condition. Also note that none of the figures came with their accessories, so I don't have any little guns or anything that might have come with these guys, unfortunately. But if you guys do see accessories out in the wild, pick them up because some accessories are worth more than the figures themselves. Then we've got another little Ewok guy right there, and he is like a striped one, and he must be more important because he's got a pig hat on. He must be a big mamma jamma in the Ewok tribes, but he is also from 1984. And we've got Mr. Han Solo from 1977. You can see he was $6. I haven't taken the tags off of all of these guys yet, but he was $6, 1977. I want to say this guy is Luke, but I am not 100% sure. I think this is like him when he's on that snowy planet, but this is the Luke from 1980, I believe. This guy right here, I know not because of the films or because of things I've seen online. I do know him because of reselling. He is one of the few Star Wars figures that I knew when I first started reselling to look for because he is one of the most valuable ones if you can find him in the blue jumpsuit. This one is the red jumpsuit, which is like the common version. He's still from 1977, so it's not like he's super common. He's still worth like over 20 bucks like this. But if you find him in the blue version, he's worth 500 plus. Easy 500 plus if you can find him in good condition with the blue jumpsuit. So keep an eye out for this dude. He's a bolo you need to know. Even if you're not into toys, if you see him in blue, snag him as fast as you can. This guy, however, I have no idea who he is. I don't know his name. If you know his name, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do some research on him, but he's from 1983. We've got a little mini 1983 Yoda figure. He doesn't have any of his accessories, unfortunately. He's kind of ugly, old. I'm used to seeing little baby Yoda shots of stuff now on memes and stuff. He's not that good looking old. This guy looks familiar. I'm not 100% sure who he is. So again, if you know who he is, let me know. I think he's that guy that Darth Vader like force chokes. He's like, I'm going to kill you. I think that's who this guy is. I think he's the one that Darth Vader force chokes. If he's not, then I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he worked on the Death Star. Next is a 1977 C-3PO. He does have a little bit of wear down on his legs down here. Speaking of his legs, I thought C-3PO had a silver leg, but both of these are gold, so I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm pretty sure C-3PO had a silver leg for some reason though. Maybe he had a replacement on this guy. And then finally, we have the last Star Wars figure, which is right here. This is Boba Fett. He does have a little bit of paint peeling right there in the front, but he does have his missile with him in the back. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone up in value recently because of the Mandalorian show. I'm gonna have to look up and see if he has, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's gone up because of the recent Star Wars releases. And then I ended up finding one little video game related thing. This is Space Crusher. It's like a LCD handheld game, kind of like the Tiger ones, but this was made by Radio Shack and it is complete in the box. It even has the styrofoam and stuff in there. So that's a pretty cool pickup. I paid like 10 bucks for this, but I think it's worth like 60 to 70. All right, next I think we'll hop into the wrestling stuff. There was a decent amount of wrestling stuff in there, and I think I got all of the wrestling stuff. I'm not 100% sure if I got everything, but I'm pretty sure that I did. Most of the figures were like $1 a piece because they weren't marked, so that's awesome. Also, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, so I don't know any of their names. I bet you I don't know any of their names. I might know one or two because I think there's a Hulk Hogan in here. First up, we got this guy right here. I have no idea who he is. Look at him. He looks like he's glistening because of the lighting, but he says Iran right here on the side of his legs. That's probably how I end up figuring out who he is. I'll use it as a keyword over on the internet and figure out who he was. But he's the first one. He's probably about 9 inches or so. We've got another little 9-inch figure. He is USSR, again from 1985. Okay, I might actually know him. Is this Macho Man? I think this is Macho Man from 1985. He's in a little rougher shape. You can see some of the paint's wearing off in certain spots, but I'm pretty sure that's who that is. Then we got a couple of the smaller figures. There is the miniature version of that Iran guy. The one guy I think I know who it is, Hulk Hogan right here. Guy number 3 that I don't know who it is, but look at his muscles on that. Look at his abs. He has like wings on his abs. Who has muscles like that? And then our last guy here kind of looks like Hagrid from Harry Potter. I have no idea who he is, but if Hagrid was a wrestler, this would be him. Does he look like Hagrid to you?
I hope like Hagrid.
We got a couple more of these smaller figures, but these ones are actually kind of cool. In the backs of them, you can see right there, they have like little holes right there, and it's for your fingers to go in, and I think they're like little finger puppets. So that's kind of neat. This one, obviously, Hulk Hogan again. The guy who had wings on his abs in that last figure, which I think they might have given to Hulk Hogan because Hulk's abs in this one look way more ripped. Guy number 3 right here who has like stars and stripes on his pants. Again, if you know who any of these guys are, let me know in the comments. And finally, guy number 4 who we think is Macho Man, and these were all from 1986. Here are the last 2 wrestling figures. These are like more of the typical style wrestling figures that I think of when I think of wrestling figures. These are the ones that I usually find and pick up. Both of these guys look similar, except the guy on the right has a beard and the guy on the left doesn't. Also, guy on the left has his little like boxing, what do they call that, a boxing robe on? Or I guess wrestling robe in this case. And then this is really cool. This has been sitting in the background, but this is the wrestling ring for all those guys, and I'm pretty sure it's complete. It's got all like the pins, and then it's got this whole extra bag of like ropes and accessories right there. This thing is pretty cool, and some wrestling accessories go for some very good money. I saw the date on this guy. 1986. It's from 1986, and I will guess that if I had to guess on this guy, he was probably worth close to $100, if not over. I've sold other wrestling rings that were vintage ones or retro ones in the past and done very, very well on them. So this guy being complete, I bet you, is worth some pretty good money. And then we have one more bag of miscellaneous action figures. I think most of these ones are like superhero ones, but I'll go through them real fast. Here's the first guy. He's kind of the outlier of the bag. He doesn't look like any of the other ones, and he actually looks like 2 different people spliced together. You can see the skin tone difference right there on the body and the head. And actually, yeah, on the back it says the body is from 1974 and the head is from 1980. So this guy's a little Frankensteined out. He's also missing his leg, which flew off when I opened him up. Oops. Next, someone I recognize. This is Wolverine. He actually is in a different colorway than normal. He's normally like blue and yellow, but he's like that maroon and yellow in this one, and he is from 1984. Then we've got Mr. Dr. Doom from 1984 again. None of these figures seem to have their accessories with them. I'm not sure who this guy is. If you guys know who he is, let me know down below, but I kind of like his color scheme. That pink and yellow is kind of sharp. He's from, his date's under his belt. He's from 1984 as well. I do know this guy, Captain America. He looks like he's in a little bit of rough condition. You can see the paint's kind of wearing in the middle and his arms are a little discolored, but he's also from 1984. Next is Venom. Venom's the black one right there. He looks like he's in pretty good shape overall. All right, I'm a little confused on these guys. I've never seen them before. They almost look like Power Rangers, but they're not. But they're like stretchy. Do you see this? Look, like, here's his foot right here. And it like stretches. They're made of like that like 90s like sticky hand stuff. That's what these action figures are made of. If you know what these are, let me know. But here's the first one. Kind of looks like the Red Ranger, but like with a samurai sword. Here's the second stretchy guy right here. Again, you can see his like arm stretches out and stuff. If you know anything about these, let me know. I'm really curious on these. And the third one of those stretchy guys right there. Those are interesting. I've never seen those before. I just think it's really neat they made them out of those stretchy hand materials like that. That's really cool. I would imagine a bunch of these didn't survive because I could see that breaking really easy. Look at that. We got Superman, but without a head. It's headless Superman. He is from 1984. I doubt he has much value without his head, but still, why not? These guys weren't priced individually, by the way. This whole bag was like 10 bucks. Here we go. This is a cool little figure right here. This is Penguin from Batman. He's got like the dad bod going on. You see that? Sorry about that, but look at him. He's got like the belly going on right there. That's a totally different like molding from what you typically see for action figures back in that day. Like look at this. Most of the figures you find are gonna be like really chiseled and you can see all their like, you know, dimensions of their muscles and everything. They're very toned looking figures. They almost look like they're from the same mold. But he is like really, really unique looking. I kind of really like that figure. I might end up keeping him. Here's the last little superhero figure right here. He's from DC. It says it on the inside of his leg. That's as much as I know about him. I do not know who he is. He does look familiar, but I'm not sure who he is. And our last figure of the haul is this guy right here. I'm not 100% sure who he is, but he does feel like an older one. The plastic's a different feeling. Yeah, he's from 1974 from Fisher-Price. This might be one of the, what do they call them, the adventure people or the adventure crew, something like that. He might be one of them because I think they were built kind of similar to this. I'm gonna have to check to verify, but I wanna say that's where he's probably from. Now, action figures and toys and stuff was not something that I was explicitly super into as a kid. However, I do like the nostalgia that they bring back. I do remember seeing the commercials and I remember going to friends' houses and playing with them who had them there, but my parents just never really bought me action figures and stuff, so I never really had them myself, but I like to find them now, and I actually have a little bit of a collection of action figures now in my eBay room that I have for my personal use. Personal use sounds a little weird. I display them around in different places, and I just think they're fun. But yeah, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. I hope that you guys all enjoyed. This was a little bit of a different video because normally I don't take you through in depth of the estate sale finds that I end up getting. I just kind of overview them, but I really enjoy selling and buying this kind of stuff. It just brings back nostalgia, and I like having conversations with people about this kind of stuff because it does interest me. Even though I didn't personally play with this stuff back in the day, I still really enjoy selling this kind of thing, and it's definitely something that I always love to find. And if you did enjoy this kind of content, as always, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more, and leave me a comment. What was your favorite thing that I picked up in this video? Did any of this bring you nostalgia? Let me know down below. Otherwise, thank you guys all for watching. Till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.